Movement number 4. Dragon seeks path. Dragon whips his tail.
Yo, my man, why you got on that purse, huh?
Hey, this ain't no purse. I'm the big deals. Don't do that. $100 Patron in the bid at, you heard? Get your money up, not your funny up.
I nigga try not to sniff.
Why did I not even watch the last one? I just wanted to see if I did that or not.
Nah, because you're thinking about it way too much now, so now you're not going to. If you're like three from now, you're going to start sniffing.
Move over a little bit to the other side.
This side or this side?
The way you was just, yeah. Yeah, yo, I don't know. Apparently I sniff after I do that, so listen. Grr, bah! Mumfu podcast, Money Up, No Funny Up podcast. We litty ganging too.
Up, no funny up podcast. Trying to ad-lib that shit. Go ahead.
We need a drop or something.
Word.
What's cracking? Yo, listen, what we talking about, bro?
Man, let me find out. First of all, rest in peace to Doe B. Let me just start that off, just random. Let me just throw my respects. So this is the follow-up video of the last Mumfu, where the last Mumfu was about M responding to Jamar's age-old statements that he's been saying for, good part of a year, better part of a year.
Are you on the Bluetooth?
Yes, I am.
I was about to say, this is nigga audio doodle, yo. Your audio is Bunsington.
I always have my headphones in, so I literally don't. I be forgetting when I have them in or not.
Me too.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, for the better part of a year, he's been saying, brought up the whole Eminem is a guest in the house of hip hop thing, and I would call it an argument, but the argument really has been only between Eminem's fans and Lord Jamar.
Yeah.
Like, Eminem hasn't been in it. Royce hasn't been in it. Really, Royce came out and said what he said, but... And then Jamar kind of responded back to him, but not even really saying the same stuff he was saying before. So, what did you... And then Lord Jamar, let me keep going, tweets out with the quickness, 3 tweets, fires them off. Youngada. About M. I don't have him up right now. Hold on, I'm about to pull him up.
He said...
But what did you think about his responses while I pulled this up?
At first I was...
Actually, you got the responses right now?
Nah, because on my phone, I'm using my phone to record the sound.
I'll get him.
But essentially, I feel like
we kind of have to say what the responses were before we say what we felt about him. Oh, yeah, I got a screenshot right here. Right here. Okay. Pulling up. Come on. So, he got on Twitter. Okay, good. And he opened it up. He gave him 3 rounds. He gave him 3 rounds of smack. He said, the first opening round, he said, "This ish is a case closed. Now, all together, repeat after me. White people are a guest in the house of hip-hop that black people built. Thank you and good night." Drops mic and leaves podium. Now, I'm going to go through piece by piece what I felt about this. That was to be the tweet that if you would have just got that off and left it there, it would have been a little bit more of what you say. But the reason why I couldn't even say that is because this statement is true, but this statement is the argument. He won the argument against M's fans. He didn't win the argument against M because he was never having the argument with M. So this is what it starts annoying me a little bit when he goes, but at least his ego was quelled enough to admit what I've been saying all along. What makes you think... What is that even... His ego was quelled? What do you mean? The first chance he got to answer your question, he agreed with you. What is the ego part? That's what I need to know. Like, What do you think about those tweets? So,
I mean, like you said, the first one was like, that's just him stating facts, and nobody was arguing that other than Eminem's fans. And
I wouldn't. Let's not just say Eminem's fans. There is a sect, because I'm
yeah.
sect of Eminem fans who were arguing that, because I had plenty of Eminem fans.
Right.
Be like, I don't know what these guys are talking about.
Yeah, y'all know who I'm saying. If you do that, you do that. If you don't do that, you don't do that. So like, that's who I'm speaking about. The people who do argue with Lord Jamar about that being wrong. That's a fact. I don't think anybody argues that. I mean, people argue that, but people shouldn't argue that. So
They're
that
just
was
not-
valid.
they're
But
just
my biggest problem with
Educated on
that,
hip-hop, not much.
nah, but my biggest problem with Lord Jamar was that's not what this started as. Like, that's not what he said. I went back and I watched every single clip, and that's not what he said. Because originally, the Eminem debate, I think what happened is Jamar started getting tired of the way that every time the response would be after he said something about Eminem. So as time progressed, he progressively got more trolly about his responses. Because when I originally watched it, he said he was talking about Eminem and him thinking Eminem is a dope rapper, but Eminem is essentially, you know, like, the reason why he's so supported is because white people back him, right? Well, then it went from that to Eminem being like Macklemore. He was comparing Eminem to Macklemore. And then as time progressed, then it became, oh, Eminem is cool, but he's a guest. And then it went from, then it went from that to being like, nah, F that. The only people that listen to Eminem are, cornballs, and no live niggas listen to Eminem and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay.
Well, another part, not to interrupt you, but a part where his argument fell on his head is he got so down that rabbit hole, he started getting to the part where he was arguing if Eminem was dope or not, forgetting that he said Eminem was dope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. It went from like him making statements about Eminem, certain Eminem fans taking it away, killing him for it on the internet. Then eventually his answers just became more S my D as time went. You know what I mean? It just became more of like, what can he say now to get these people to just be up in arms? And that's what it started to get like.
Well, what's going to happen now, the Vlad TV press run's coming. So we know that this is nowhere near over, right? And I'm pretty sure in that press run, Vlad's going to need content. So the next Jamar interview is going to be probably the most Eminem-centric interview. Because they finally it's like the bookend to the beginning of the Lord Jamar Vlad TV interview.
Can I add something to that too? That I will say, through watching that Vlad clip, the Vlad clips, that honestly, this whole situation was more Vlad's fault than it was Jamar's. It was how Vlad positioned this certain video that made because Jamar said what he said in those original clips 5 years ago. It was in 2014, right? So
yeah, but they've been beefing for that long, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, he originally said that, and then, right? Well, then, obviously, they had, words and stuff like that back and forth in between. But then when Vlad came out and repositioned the clip and said, Lord Jamar basically said that Eminem, he said something, I don't remember exactly what it was. If you go watch it, you'll see it. But Lord Jamar, it was the one where Lord Jamar had the black hoodie on, and he was like, yeah, Vlad, you can't be doing that. He was like, because now you putting myself in a situation and, like, I'm telling you as a homie, that's not the way that you should, title your video. That's what he was saying in the video. But it seemed as if more it's Vlad's positioning personally that I feel like is what kind of continues to keep this thing alive. And I think that now people wouldn't care that Lord Jamar says what he said. Because, like we said yesterday, I mean, the thing about Lord Jamar is that he never does this on his own platform. He always goes to
That's
Vlad to do this. And I feel like he literally does that because
he's talking about everybody his own platform.
yeah, but it was like one time, and that was
Not
like
as much as he does on Vlad.
exactly like that was like the one major time that he did that is when he started like bugging out and doing all that stuff I can't say, but like he was going crazy.
Yeah. And then his last tweet was, I guess his ego wouldn't allow him to say, Lord Jamar was right the whole time, and I was bugging for coming at him the way I did. My bad. I am the guest in the House of Hip Hop. I'm going to tell you right now. Take race out of this, because Jamar be picking and choosing.
Yeah, if that was some man shit.
Hold on. If any rapper got to it, another rapper, and responded like that, I would lose respect for him.
Yeah.
Like, you really expect it. So it's ego that he didn't say, Lord Jamar was right the whole time, and I was bugging for coming at him that way. I did. My bad. I'm a guest in the House of Hip Hop. Even though he literally said, I never said I wasn't a guest in the House of Hip Hop. I'm absolutely a guest in the House of Hip Hop, and I'm not the king of hip hop. I'm not the king of hip hop. It just that stuff where it's just like, oh, you think you could get off because he's white. That's what you trying to punk him.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like, if you even respond, like, if somebody said that to me, if somebody told me that's how I had to apologize
to them,
I'm punching them. Like, period. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or but. Like, nah, bro, because you literally think I'm soft when you doing. That's like.
He wouldn't ask 50 to apologize.
Nah, nobody.
He would never ask.
He would never ask somebody that he think could whoop him.
Of course, that's
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, that's literally like when Mike Tyson was holding up Joel Santana's hand. Like, I was like, nigga, chill. Like, yo, you can't do that.
The way you're supposed to. I respect the response. I respect everything. This is what I've said. He's been saying. We'll see where it goes on from here. We'll be here to cover it. You know what I mean?
Y'all know what's
Shout out to them. Shout out to Crooked Eye. Shout out to Vlad. Shout out to Jamar. Why not? Bringing us content. Even though y'all be bugging.
Smack, we out here.